Hey everyone, I want to talk to you guys today about doing things for nothing, doing things without any expectation of getting anything back in return. Recently, my husband and I were on a layover, not even a layover, a delayed flight, and we were in Memphis of all places, and we were in this crowded terminal with about 100 other frustrated, impatient, tired, and hungry people, and sitting on uncomfortable chairs and all of those things, and you can't help but overhear conversations. So I was sitting there and I overheard this conversation of these two men right next to me, and the first man said, I'm thinking about volunteering at a food pantry or the Big Brother organization. And the other man said, wow, that's awesome, that's really selfless, I'm so proud of you. And the first man said, yeah, I thought it would look really good on my resume. And, employers like that sort of thing. And I was like, oh, that kind of bummed me out. This week's topic, doing something for nothing, has been on my mind ever since. Most people are kind and they would do anything for anyone. I'm sure you're one of those. But sometimes the need for recognition or accolades supersedes that act of kindness. The golden rule, who doesn't know the golden rule? Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. That's a belief that most religions and cultures believe in, but nowhere in the golden rule does it say, do unto others as you would have them do unto you, and ask for repayment because of that. It just doesn't say that. When you do something for someone, do you expect them to repay you in some sort of way? Or do you give it freely, whatever that is, with no strings attached, without expecting anything in return? When we keep an invisible scorecard, because that's what sometimes we do, we keep this invisible scorecard in our head of what we've done for other people. When we do that, when we give to get instead of give to give, we take that beautiful selfless act out of it. We muddy that beauty of selflessness. To help me rein in my selfish behavior when it comes to this, I will quickly ask myself two questions. Are you expecting anything out of this? And then number two is, where's your heart at in this? Is it in the right place? Just that simple act of stopping and asking yourself those two questions, am I expecting anything in return, and where's my heart at? Just that simple act of asking, that will keep your motives in check, I promise you. I mean, stop and imagine a world where everyone was giving to give instead of giving to get. There really is no limit to the amount of good that we can do if we don't care who gets the credit or expect anything in return. When I was a little girl, this is a weird memory, but when I was a little girl, I remember taking a box of chiclets. Do you remember chiclets gum? And dividing it between my little sister and I. And I'd say, one for you, one for me, one for you, one for me. Now, I was not a perfect kid. You can ask my 4 siblings that. But for whatever reason, I remember that. And I remember that sharing felt really good. And it made me happy. And I knew it was the right thing to do. You and I are blessed to be a blessing. And it doesn't matter how bad we think we have it, because at times we do, but there's always someone else that has it worse than us. And I'm speaking to myself here. Switching from being selfish to selfless opens our heart and allows us to be a blessing. Shifting our focus from ourselves to someone else allows our heart to bless other people. You know what? If we watch the media long enough, they will have us believe that the sky is falling, the world is falling apart, and we're part of the problem. And I disagree. I believe that there are great people out there, and I know that you agree with me, but it's up to us to see that more often. Just today, I saw an older woman in the parking lot at the grocery store. Didn't know this woman, but she saw a young mom with kids around her, and it was a big chaos, and she helped her. Yesterday I was in line for coffee, and the man, a couple before me, turned around and bought the guy behind him a cup of coffee. A friend of mine just organized a meal train for another friend because her husband is really, really sick. We have a couple friend who volunteer on a regular basis at Ronald McDonald House. I know someone who every quarter gives anonymously to organizations without wanting the tax benefit. That's not why he's doing it. There are good people out there, and good brings out the good in me. Good people bring out the good in people. They make me want to, in turn, be really good. So giving to give instead of giving to get has so many benefits. Doing things for nothing without any asking for anything in return is really a win-win situation. Did you know that it releases endorphins in our body when we do that? And endorphins reduce pain and they boost pleasure. Did you know that when we give to give and not give to get, we fight depression? Because it takes the focus off of us and our problems, and it puts our focus on good things. Did you know that when we give to give, it alleviates stress? Studies show that your body, that the cortisol in your body will decrease, and cortisol is the stress hormone. Did you know that it helps us feel good about ourselves? It's a confidence booster, and it also it also takes away from our inner critic that wants to throw us insults. When we're good to others, those give to give and without anything, asking for anything in return, it doesn't always have to be about money or donating money. It can be your time, talents, or your treasure. But here are some great things that you and I can do that doesn't have anything to do with money. We can listen to someone. We can give our ear just without even giving answers back. Sometimes people want to just vent. You and I can comfort someone with a touch or a word of encouragement. That's giving to give. You and I can affirm someone by telling them how much we believe in their potential. That's giving to give. We can teach someone something without acting superior about it. We can spend time with someone who is lonely. We can go to an appointment with someone, a doctor's appointment or a scheduled procedure. That's giving to give. We can remember special occasions and point them out to people. We can express appreciation for their friendship. That's giving to give. So I would love to know, first of all, lastly, let's make it a habit. Let's make it a habit of giving to give without asking for anything in return. And when we do, we become the light to others, and people see that, and then they start to believe in the goodness of people. So I'd love to know what you thought of this video, this topic. What have you witnessed lately that has been a selfless act of giving to give and not to get? Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it.